Welcome back. You're still watching Nile TV International and continuing our coverage of the Egypt Senate elections 2025. We have the pleasure to be joined over the phone by Mr. Adel Boles, the head of the Canadian Businessmen Association. Mr. Adel, thank you very much for being with us tonight on this special coverage by Nile TV International.
Thank you for having us.
Anytime. First of all, how do you see the importance of holding this round of the Senate elections, and more specifically for the Egyptian expatriates in Canada and the participation of the Egyptian expatriates living within Canada in this election?
The Egyptian living abroad, it's very important for Egypt that they participate. Always the election abroad comes first before it's held in Egypt, and this sets the pace for the election coming around. It actually, Egyptians abroad encourage Egyptians to go to vote because the turnout is always very good since they're so patriotic.
Yes, Mr. Adel.
So it is important that, and especially these days, Egyptians abroad feel that they are. It's important that they show up. Although, as everyone is aware, there is a systematic attack on our embassies and consulates across the world. And unfortunately, our consulate in Montreal has been attacked twice over the last week. Everyone abroad feels it's important that they go and participate in this election and go to the embassy and consulate and vote to say that. We are not. We love our country. We are not intimidated by anyone, and to support the Senate election to make sure that the Senate is elected.
Yes, you've mentioned a very important point, Mr. Adel, which is the link between the Egyptian expatriates living outside of Egypt and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, or the Embassy of Egypt in Canada in general, and of course the consulates that are being scattered all over North America and more specifically in Canada. How did you see this relationship developing under the tenure of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi for the past 10 or 11 years, the relationship between the expatriates and the mainland through the Ministry of Migration and Foreign Affairs?
Well, it's good that you are mentioning this because as we're talking, in a couple of days, I mean the day after tomorrow, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is organizing its sixth round of conferences with Egyptians abroad, and this one is promising to be the largest ever of people, the community leaders, members of the community abroad coming to Egypt, to Cairo, to meet, and with invited by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and also very surprisingly, the Prime Minister, Mr. Madbouli, will be attending the conference, which shows that the importance of the government, the Egyptian government, these days, the importance it's giving to the Egyptians living abroad, and making sure that they are connected with the motherland, and to hear what they have to say, and to reach out and use every treasure or every talent that's needed for Egypt.
Yes, Mr. Adel mentioned that this is the sixth edition of this conference. So this means that we have had at least 5 editions of this conference and this gathering under the tenure of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi for the past 10 or 11 years. How do you see the effects of the past 5 editions of this conference? What to expect from the 6th one or the upcoming one?
The thing that we love is that in these conferences, all the ministries that are important to us attend. Of course, it is not easy to reach government representatives in any part of the world, but when you have them under one roof and they are there and they are listening to you. I mean, different ministries are there, and ministers come or their aides, and they listen to us, and we participate in discussion, and we try to find solutions to requests that are made by Egyptians living abroad. And in the last 5 editions of it, many things were brought up, things were done, things are work in progress. I mean, it's as you know, it's not easy to change things or to because of the population. Egypt has a huge population, but it's being worked on, and at least we are congregating and under one roof, and we're being heard.
Yes, Mr. Adel, you've mentioned that one of the main purposes of having this conference, the 6th edition of this conference, gathering the Egyptian expatriates from outside of Egypt, from different countries into Egypt, and meeting with senior officials like Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli and the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Migration, Dr. Badr Abdelati, was to be discussing several solutions for the requests that you have for some problems that you may encounter or obstacles that you could be facing outside of Egypt. What are the main problems? What are the main requests for the Egyptian expatriates? What are the proposed solutions that could be given by the state for the Egyptian expatriates, and more specifically for the elections that are taking place nowadays for the Egyptian Senate for the upcoming round, for the upcoming 5 years in 2025 until 2030, and what is the role of the Senate in solving your problems?
Yes, well, I mentioned, I talked about one part of the conference. The other part was to give the chance to different ministries and ministers to explain and to present what has been going on last year, and projects that are going on, things that we are not aware of. So when we go back to our countries, I mean, there are representatives from countries from all over the world. When we go back, it's our duty to explain to our members of the community in every country of what's going on in Egypt, and to make them get closer to Egypt. But for your question concerning what are the main concerns, the first thing, of course, that and I'm going to talk about the elections and the Senate and the National Assembly, is that, of course, Egyptians abroad, they are looking to have representation on the Senate, on the National Assembly, and we have been we are able to have representation of senators and not mainly of members of the National Assembly for Egyptians living abroad. So that's an important part, and how they're nominated and their election. The second thing is that, of course, One thing that concerns Egyptian living abroad is the facilitation of consular services. Also the investment in Egypt and how to do about it.
Yes.
Different other points that we can talk about.
You mentioned a very important topic, Mr. Adel, as you are the head of the Canadian Businessmen Association, the investment in Egypt. What is needed for the Egyptian expatriates to be thinking more about pumping more money and to be getting return on investing or investments into Egypt? What are the obstacles that are facing you now?
So I'm the president of ECBN, it is the Egyptian Canadian Business Network, and the thing is that Egyptians, they want to invest in Egypt. They want to know how to do it, what is the best way, what is the safest way, and Egypt has been very promising in terms of opportunities. So there is good things to be done here, and we can use Egyptians living abroad to do it. We just need to find the best way, the best channel on how this takes place. The thing that Egyptians abroad are always worried about is of course the currency fluctuation and how to when they invest in Egypt, how to they would like to have dividends, or in times when they want to exit, is how to add the currency that they invested in. Let's say they invested in US dollars, that they can retrieve these funds back. This is one of the concerns that we're always working on with the government to facilitate this. But in terms of opportunities, there is huge opportunities in the agricultural sector in Egypt, in the tourism sector, in the real estate sector, and it is promising and is growing.
Canada is a big country, at least in terms of geography. We have fantastic ties between Egypt and Canada. How would you assess the efforts by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, by the embassy in Canada, by the consulates in different parts of Canada as well, to be taking care of the requests, as you mentioned, of the Egyptian expatriates living in Canada for the past 10 years under the tenure of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and more recently with Foreign Minister Dr. Badr Abdulati?
Yes, I mean, just this week there was a meeting between both foreign affairs ministers, the Canadian and the Egyptian foreign affairs minister, which is very, very nice, and it's a good step to see that it's happening, that there is a relationship that is developing, and that there was an invitation from the Egyptian foreign minister to the Canadian foreign minister to visit Egypt, and she had welcomed this idea. So this is good news for the two countries. The second thing is that you mentioned about how the commercial attachés of each country, each one of them, I mean, they're great, are working hard to, from each side, to increase the business between two sides. And we've had a mission came from this year from Egypt under the Egyptian Canadian Business Council with Mr. Mu'taz Raslan, and it was the ambassador Ibrahim, and we're also planning to have missions from Canada towards Egypt in this coming year.
Yes, and finally, Mr. Adel, of course, how would you see the turnout for the first day of the Egyptian expatriates on the Senate elections for 2025, and what is expected on the second day from the Egyptians residing in Canada?
Well, we didn't know how it will work out, and especially in Montreal, but members of the Egyptian community in Montreal have been reporting that since there were attacks at the consulate in Montreal in this week, so the Consul General, Mr. Nabil Maki, and other consuls and the staff have taken great steps to ensure that anyone who's coming to vote will do it in a nice, secure, and a peaceful way. And this has happened. The consulate has been open today from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., welcoming members of the Egyptian community coming to vote. There is security, of course, it's very safe. There is security outside of the building, and everyone feels very safe, and it has been going on the whole day. We've been receiving news and pictures of members of the community going to vote, and we expect that tomorrow, since it went very nicely today, we expect that tomorrow we'll have more people coming to vote.
Yes, hopefully we will be seeing a bigger turnout for the second day of the Senate elections in Canada and across the globe. Mr. Adel Boles, the head of the Canadian Businessmen Association, thank you very much for being with us tonight on Nile TV International and this special coverage. And this brings us to the end. Thank you very much for having me. Anytime. Thank you very much. And this brings us to the end of this special coverage for the Senate elections all over the world, coming your way from Nile TV International. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.